hate when that happens. That's what happens when you have an old car. You know, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Is that the way it goes? Bear with me, even though you can't see me, but I just left the Super Bowl party that I was at. I had an amazing time because the Super Bowl was the last thing we even cared about. We were just watching the game and just, vibing on a family level. It was cool. My kids were there. LJ was there. Doc, the surgeon, was there. He had his kids there. And it was cool. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I did indulge in a beverage. I had them 1 hour apart from each other. I had 2 Guinness. It was pretty good. The Guinness was good. I'm liking Guinness. I was around Guinness for 25 years, 30 years. Well, 25 years while I was in the bar and club business. I always thought Guinness was some sort of like super machismo beer that you drink, for tough guys and, Irish guys and Jamaican guys. And a couple of months ago, some friends took me out for a few drinks. I was kind of going through something and they sensed it, so they were like, yo, come on, let's go hang out. And I was like, all right. And what I'm doing is I was actually rewiring some lights that I have, or at least it's an emergency light. And the reason why it's not wired is because I actually got some work done on the vehicle, and I wound up taking the wires apart, connecting it to my battery, and then my mechanic, who I just met for the first time, I gave him more light than he had. He was wearing these really cool, let's see if I got it working. There we go. Boom. He was wearing these really cool glasses that had 2 lights coming out the sides, but I was able to give him more light, and it worked out brilliantly, like it's working out right now. Brilliantly. Forget about it. It's brilliant. Today I'm wearing a denim jacket. And this denim jacket, I'm wearing it like like I had it buttoned up completely, and it's underneath, it's like a t-shirt. It's actually a compression shirt, but I wore the denim jacket as if it was a denim shirt, and it looked amazing. As do I look amazing tonight, I have to say. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. And the only reason why I'm wearing the scarf is because I was, walking. I went and got gas, and it's 10 degrees outside, and I felt great. Got my cashmere scarf, well, 85% cashmere scarf. Popping. Got my hat on. Now I have light. We can talk about Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, doing Bad Bunny things, I guess. I know nothing of Bad Bunny. Never listened to Bad Bunny. Never was interested in Bad Bunny. I didn't like the whole little glasses and tongue kissing men on stage. I never, it didn't appeal to me. What everyone knows that knows me is that my Spanish sucks, and I couldn't understand what he was saying. That doesn't mean that I didn't like the halftime performance. It was pretty. The stage was super expensive. They spent, minimum. Everybody was union workers, I'm sure, and we're talking 500 to 850,000 on staging this performance. And I do like the shoulder pads that he was wearing and the shoulder pads that he was wearing were very Kanye West. So this was a nod to Kanye West all day. Like he's totally has influenced our culture and the way we're dressing today. It was like you remember the video Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, and they had these huge shoulder pads. It was a play on that, and it was also a play on Kanye West, his aesthetics anyway. So that was kind of cool. I mean, it was, and then he had the tie. Um, was it Windsor knot? But the tie, the on top of this oversized shoulder pad thing was like a number 64 maybe. I don't really remember the number. My daughter would have loved it if it was 6'7". She'd have been like 6'7". So the performance, I don't even know what Bad Bunny looked like, and he had all this like dark mustache, dark beard, dark hair against that winter white outfit with the shoulder pads. It looked great. Aesthetically, it looked brilliant. He was moving those hips like you expect a Latin Hispanic man to do. He had Cardi B was in the background mingling. And the way I look at it, let me just say this. Put this in park. I don't know if I'm gonna drive and lose my signal. But Bad Bunny represented a Puerto Rico that's believable. Most people try their best to big up where they're from. They try to, like Jamaicans, Dominicans, Mexicans, they try to come across with this braggadocious way when they're performing. And this wasn't that. This was like a tipping of the hat to the people of Puerto Rico, the people of Puerto Rico that are hustlers, the people that are Puerto Rico that are shakers and bakers. This wasn't this wasn't like showing how great Puerto Rico was. It didn't do that. It didn't show you the greatness of Puerto Rico and the greatness of this amazing singer who's going to floss and who's going to showboat and he's going to high horse anything. It was like, we're going to be farming. They started out with the Puerto Rican farmers on the set of this, on this stage. The camera forgot about the Super Bowl and concentrated on this story. And the story is Puerto Rican farming leads to Puerto Rican entrepreneurial, but like really gritty. They were like entrepreneurs selling food on the streets, selling what's those ices on the streets? There's a name for it. The Dominicans, they call it Frio Frio, but it's really what is the name of that? It's there's a name for it. It's Piragua. And they had the sign that said it, I believe, Piragua. And Piragua is basically a big block of ice that you shave the ice and then you pour all the different colorful flavored sugar water and food coloring, and I'm sure there's authenticness to it, but then there was the, like, maybe even the empanada guy, and then so these little tiny baby steps of Puerto Rican entrepreneurial, and so this guy is singing. It sounds like he did at least 4 or 5 songs, and he's traveling through this Puerto Rico-esque environment, a stage of Puerto Rico and the representation of entrepreneurs in Puerto Rico and the people of Puerto Rico and the beautiful women of Puerto Rico and the attractive men of Puerto Rico and this romantic romanticizing poverty to some degree, where you have people that are still in love and getting married. And I think there was an actual marriage on the stage of this Super Bowl halftime show, the big game. And at the big game, somebody's getting married while this guy is singing, and he had a very interesting voice. I was like, wait a minute. I thought this guy was like a hip hop artist. This guy's like a singer with a decent sounding voice. He had this huskiness and this deep, like a baritone kind of a voice. I was expecting just like some sort of reggaeton. Let me try to fix that. Reggaeton. Yeah, I thought he had like this reggaeton kind of thing going on. I don't know anything about the guy, but from what I saw, I was impressed. And there was a these different little depictions of Puerto Rico from the hustling, and then it was a gradual thing where there was like he was getting the piragua from somebody. Then he walked over and got like the maybe like some sort of food from another person, and then he walks over and he gets they someone is selling gold. So there was this little progression from farming to selling drinks from a block of ice to then selling some sort of food. I don't quite remember. And then to selling actual gold. So there was a small little incremental progression of the Puerto Rican and that hustle spirit. And all the while, there was all these beautiful women around these men that were out there, not only getting married, not only, getting on one knee and asking a woman for their hand in marriage on a romantic level. They were also uh, um, out partying with these women, these beautiful women. They were actually, so there was these tons of women. I think the women might have outnumbered the men in this performance. And he's just going from different stage to he's just going from one stage to the other, gradually, slowly, moving his way through and singing all these songs, none of which did I know. I didn't know any of the songs. But let me tell you this, I thoroughly enjoyed all of them that I did see. I'm over here looking for a cough drop. Forgive me. I don't see any. It's okay. I should be fine. So it was this gradual progression of the Puerto Rican spirit, so to speak. The Puerto Rican spirit, the Puerto Rican hustle, the Puerto Rican man that is linked with the Puerto Rican woman. See, the Puerto Rican man and woman was super linked together in this dance and this salsa of sorts, where they were like, okay. And it just kept on progressing. And there was even some sort of destruction. He was on the roof, and the roof collapses. He's inside of the apartment. He exits the apartment. He ends up going to the power lines, and he's rapping or something. And then I hear the name Lolita Lebron. And I remember from my cousin Natasha, when I was 21 years old, she was just like, you really need to learn about Puerto Rican people. And I was like, whatever you say. She's like, we're more than just what you think we are. And you should learn about this woman named Lolita Lebron. So I did research when I was 21 years old about this woman. And this woman, Lolita Lebron, she was trying to talk to the Puerto Rican people and say, yo, America is going to destroy us. America is going to take away our independence. And not only is it going to take away our independence, it's going to take over our island. And what we need to do is we need to say no to what they're proposing. And that was proposing a United States of America to be a commonwealth. And this was in the 1950s. So we got this Puerto Rican attractive woman that was fighting for the Puerto Rican people and their independence, and not to rely on the United States of America, and not to fall for the carrot, the so to speak. America was dangling that carrot, and that carrot was welfare. That carrot was housing. That carrot was, we got you if you're sick. We'll provide you with Medicaid. We will provide you with resources from the United States of America. You won't be able to vote for president, but we will, with your governor that you will be allowed to vote for, and with your mayors you'll be allowed to vote for, we will then give you citizenship to the United States of America, where you don't need a passport to come to the United States. Matter of fact, if you come to the United States, we'll put you up in some housing. We'll give you welfare. And if you don't want to move to the United States of America, no problem. We'll give it to you here in Puerto Rico. So the Puerto Rican people were like, yo, man, that sounds pretty good. They're offering us, hospital, housing, food, and we don't have to, our independence is maybe not as important as we think it is. And she was against that. So much so that she got on a plane, came to the United States of America, somehow arranged to get weapons, and lit up the House of Representatives. She went, was it in California or was it in Washington, D.C.? I think it might have been Washington, D.C. Because I know that the Black Panthers went to the House of Representatives with the shotguns. And that was like 20 years later. But before the Black Panthers walked into Congress, so to speak, in California, and had their shotguns, Lolita Lebron pulled the trigger. And she lit up the House of Representatives like you have no idea. See, this is a woman that most people don't know about. Puerto Rican people don't know about, American people don't know about. And I know that she was released at some point after about 25, 30 years. So she went in the 50s, so that's 60s, 70s. Did she come home in the 70s? No. This happened in the 50s. So maybe she did 30 to 40 years. You see, I don't even really remember, because I studied this when I was 21 years old. I'm 52 now. So we're talking about Lolita Lebron, and Bad Bunny is at the Super Bowl, and he says her name. He says her name. It was crystal clear. I didn't understand anything this man was saying, but it came through. It went in, and I was like, I caught goosebumps. I went back to when I was 21 years old, and my cousin, she said, you got to learn about the Puerto Rican people, man. She's like, I know you black and all that, blackity black, blackity black, 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 black. I get it, I get it, I get it. You eating the collard greens over here. I get it, but you need to learn a little bit about Puerto Rican people and how hard some of them fought. And they're not weak people. And I think Bad Bunny tapped into that. He tapped into the Puerto Rican person that starts off on a farm, makes his way to a jewelry store, makes his way to a wife, and the pursuit of his pursuit of happiness is represented in that. And he to me, he represented the Americas, so to speak. He wasn't Caribbean, he wasn't Puerto Rican, he was America. He was the Americas. He was Canada. He was the United States of America, and he was South America and Central America. That's what I got from this performance. I got a man who comes from farmers that bust their ass to make it to owning a jewelry store. But at the end of the day, he's an American. Not a Caribbean American. Not a Puerto Rican American. He is an American. That's what it felt like. He had that. He had that football in his hand at the end, and he slammed that football on the ground, and he was just like we're the Americas, South, Central, and North is what he represented. And I was pretty blown away. I was like, whoa, this guy is a performer, and he's damn freaking good. What say you? Did you see Bad Bunny up there throwing his hips around? Did you hear him say Lolita Lebron? What did he mean by that? Does he want Puerto Rico to get their independence? Or does he want to just represent, or does he want to say something else? Does he want Puerto Rico to just remember there was a fight at one time for independence? But now we're all together, all those countries he shouted out. I was lost in translation. But there was an emotional attachment I had, unbeknownst to myself, when he yelled out Lolita Lebron's name. I felt that. I felt it. I don't even know what I felt, but I felt it, and I have to say, Bad Bunny did his thing. He did his thing. He represented not only for Puerto Rico, not only for Hispanics, but he represented for America. What say you? Did Bad Bunny make you think? Did Bad Bunny pull out an emotion? What did he mean by saying her name? What did he mean? Was he calling for Hispanics to rise up in the Americas? Or was he calling for Hispanics to embrace the Americas? Was he honoring the hustle spirit of the Puerto Rican man, the Hispanic man, the Latino? What was he doing? Was he just singing songs? Was he just gyrating his hips? Or was this something more? What say you? Hit the like button by tapping the screen twice. If you got any value out of this, you hit the Cash App. $ Elvis Rosenberg. One word. The E is capitalized in Elvis and the R is capitalized in Rosenberg. Share this. Hype this. Press the hype button. Let's get some of that popping. I'm Big Elvis the Chef Rosenberg. I have a show that's called Premium Black News. And I'm here on YouTube, and I love you. A lot of people go their whole lives, and they don't get to hear that. But I mean it. And that's a fact. And to the people in the chat, much respect to you. Bad Bunny did it. What did he do? What say you? Boom.